Hello and welcome back to the Salewinds Restaurant Marketing Podcast. I believe this is our fourth episode now, so we're grizzled old vets in the game. It should be a good one. We have two main topics today. That is a local business that I feel is doing things very, very well. And number two, a little bit about Facebook paid ads. Okay, so to be upfront, I have no connection to Key Girl. We don't represent them. And additionally, I've never had a meal there. So this is purely on their ad, but I think it's a great ad and a great example for local businesses. So if you see here, they have the daily curbside deals. If you remember back to last week, we were talking about two very popular trends. We highlighted the first, which was a health focus. You can go back if you care to hear that. But the other we briefly alluded to was this kind of value, additional value for the customer type focus. And Key does a great job at doing just that. So you can see here Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, buy two select entrees for X, get one free. Wine down Wednesday, you have wine deals, your free starter Thursdays, your Friday and Saturday, just straight 20% on all pickup. Obviously looking to really expand and get a lot of money with having more people than they could ever serve in dining in, just picking up and leaving. So I imagine they're doing pretty well with this. Looks like some great deals. So in case anybody's just jumping into the ads world, there are free options on Facebook. That's making a post on your page. That's if you made your own group, posting in there. If you joined other groups, posting in there. I see that is very popular on Facebook. I don't think it's very successful, but it's very popular. Maybe doing a story using hashtags. These are free options. And then there's actually going into Ads Manager and making an ad and trying to reach a large group of people. For restaurant marketers in general right now, most of the money that's being made comes in through that. So my biggest critique of a lot of campaigns that I see, and I don't know if these are made by restaurant owners or whether they're done by agencies, but I see a lot that don't have clear ROIs. That's return on investment. And an ability to track that. And I believe for the restaurant owners, talking to them, the biggest fear when they speak to a marketer is that they're not going to be able to do that. And historically, especially in terms of free options, they're kind of right. So if you're posting all the time and people are following and they're liking, and let's say you're even pretty successful with this and they're pretty engaged in there, and you're constantly doing that and the restaurants fill up, you don't really know whether or not they just came because of the Facebook or whether or not they just came for other reasons. So you can imagine that when you're spending a lot of money, when you've purchased marketing services and you're spending an ad budget and you're not clearly able to see the money that's coming in from that, you're really flying in the dark. And I think that a lot of people have a sour taste in their mouth or a bad taste in their mouth because of that, because of an experience such as that, whether it was done by an agency or whether it was done as an individual. Now, I don't want to give a certain impression here, and I don't want to cause issues with you and a marketing team that's doing great. Absolutely not. So my idea that you're not tracking your ROI does not necessarily mean that every single post that you make has to have a clear track from people who've seen that post to dining in. So if you have a marketing team or you have somebody doing your ads, and not every single post has this clear ability to say, well, they saw this post and now they've made a purchase. Don't necessarily be mad, because it's not quite as simple as that. Not every post needs to have that clear directive. In fact, especially early in a campaign, when you're using your reach kind of options, that's when you tell Facebook that you just want it served to as many people as possible. And using that, you could reach as many people as possible for as cheap as they're willing to go. And especially in the beginning, we have to consider your restaurant like any brand. Coca-Cola. There's a reason why Coca-Cola continues to pay millions and millions of dollars a year to put themselves in front of your face and my face. And it's because branding is important, and seeing your logo is important. Even if somebody doesn't click or doesn't do anything, it's important. So we have to balance our talk about being religious about tracking ROI, which has to become our end goal, with not always needing to do it at every turn. So we found a really cool option, and I think it's not free, but it's pretty darn close to free. I think you could probably run it for like $10, $12 a month or something like that. So we actually discovered this through being in the CBD business. So if you want to do things really, really on the up and up in the CBD business, which means you don't want to go to jail or be sued or lose your company or lose your banking or horrible things like that, you really want to have QR codes on your packaging. And that allows anybody to see even where it was grown and lab tests about it. And it's the best industry standard for staying out of trouble with CBD. And one day it kind of dawned on me that it works so well in restaurant marketing as well. So you can get a little app or something like that to read these, but you can make your own and include that in advertisements. And we all have the ability to screenshot, and you're actually able to scan that off of somebody's phone. So by having a QR code, that's a great way of being able to monitor exactly how much return on the investment you got. Especially with your influencers and macro influencers. You could have a whole bunch of these going. You could have individual ones for each of the influencers. Could be a great way to see which ones are doing well and which are underperforming. There are other reasons for influencers, and sometimes they're really good at taking photos, and then it's almost worth anything just to have them take the photos if you could use them after, but kind of getting off topic there. Now, obviously, you could have other things like somebody saying, Jimmy sent me, or things like that, but it's not that clean. I've heard some people, and I have no experience in this, but I've heard some marketers say that they've made items on the menu that were only in the advertisement. Well, that seems kind of weird to me. If other people saw it, like, what's that? And then you have to explain that that's only for online people. I don't particularly get the logic in that. Now, the topic of pickup or ordering online is a completely different topic. There are tools for that. Completely different topic, but this is for strictly dining in. Little surveys, I could see being a little bit less popular right now. in the form of paper, to say, hey, you get a discount on your dessert or a free dessert if you're really generous, if you fill out this little survey, and it could be about where they first heard about you. This could be hosted online, though, and done on a phone just as easily. So that's a nice option. So a lot of these ideas would definitely work, even on an email list, and figuring out kind of a return on investment for your email list. It's funny, I do publishing, a lot of political, kind of newsy publishing. I have a lot of clients in that sphere as well. And I had one come to us with an idea that they wanted to run a campaign, ultimately asking for clickers and looking for somebody to click and paying by the click, and offering less than the market typically gives. And we're kind of, as an agency, you're given a price. They said they're very strong about that and very determined to keep it like that. We were able to work it towards reality a bit, but at the end of the day, kind of sent out there with the with your marching orders, and reached out to a lot of people, expecting to be told to screw off. I apologize for the language, or laughed at even, and all of a sudden the yeses just kind of started coming, and kind of kicking ourselves for not going surgeon routes a long time ago. But the same kind of applies in restaurants right now, and I hate to say it or sound predatory in any kind of way, but we could all use a little bit of money right now, and running a campaign on somebody else's marketing list, their mailing list, might be a great way to maximize your return on investment. Telling a local place that's a non-competitor, Sushi to Pizza or something like that, that might have a good mailing list to offer your deals, or build these kind of relationships. We're seeing a lot of that in the industry. A lot of bars grouping up for deals. There's a bar mile, or seeing a few things like that. But don't want to get too long today. I hope you enjoyed some of the ways of tracking ROI, and think I could probably think of a few more, but those are some good ones that we're using a ton right now. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or shoot us a direct message. Thank you so much. Bye.